Hey guys, welcome to an analysis video on Bitcoin. What we want to talk about is the price of Bitcoin, where it's going, how you should trade it, and the price targets that we are looking at. So firstly, what we have to understand is currently what we have is a major accumulation zone around this 84,000 areas. You guys can see this by the continuous touches that we've had. Now, what you will see is how Bitcoin is on a upward trajectory. We've already seen the market structure being created. You guys can see here, obviously what we saw was the higher high, the higher low being created, a new higher high, and we're now on our way to be potentially forming a new higher low. Now, this could be around this area, it could be around this area, or it could be around the 93K area. And what that does is that allows a new form of accumulation before breaking out into what I think is one of the most important psychological and sentimental level, which is the 100K. You could already see that as we went close towards that area, as you guys can see by this candle, we were going close towards the 100K and instantly there was already sell-off. And this is giving a signal that actually Bitcoin wants to break 100K, but it didn't do it in that particular wave. It needs more accumulation, and that's what we are seeing right now. We want to see a new higher low being created, and that will be the new accumulation level to obviously break into the 100K. And now ultimately what we want, that's what we want to see. But if we fail to do that, if we are seeing major selling, then the best area that we are looking at is the 84K, which we've seen to be major accumulation zone. That for me would be where I want to buy the most. But of course, what we are looking for is the stoppage, is the new higher low at around this 93 to 94K range. If we were to zoom in and actually look at the shorter time frame, what we already talked about was in terms of the daily time frame, as stated here, we saw the higher low, we saw the higher high. However, what we are looking at for the shorter time frame, so if we just want to zoom out and look at kind of going from the 14th to right now the 17th of where we are at, is ultimately looking at how short term we did see a bearish structure being already formed. So potentially we are already at the higher low. We have already created a higher low and we're waiting for this bounce back, and that level being this 94,662 to 94,172. Obviously you've got to give or take a few hundred. But the reason why I say this is when we first broke out, when we saw this creating this high of 97K, you can obviously see the price bouncing down. Now, what this would and could have being regarded actually as a higher low from previous structure where we saw this being created. So this was the higher high, this was the higher low, a new higher high, a new higher low being made. And so if we were to look at the previous structure, this could have been a higher low. But it's very important to understand that afterwards, because it failed to break the high, because it actually made a new lower high, then we knew that this became a bearish structure, and that's how we would have obviously seen this coming. And then you guys can see as we broke this, a new lower low was being made, another lower low. But now as we are breaking, as we are bouncing back, as we are seeing accumulation at around this 94,600 level, 700 level, what we are seeing is how actually it's not stopping, it's not going down back to this 94K area. It doesn't look like it's making a new lower low. So we've had the bearish structure, which shows us that potentially we have already created a new higher low for the daily time frame. And then because we've already seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what we are looking at is of course a potential new bullish structure being made in the shorter time frame. And that's what we want to look out for. If we are seeing that currently we have already broken out of the bearish structure, we've created a new higher low for the daily time frame, and even in the short-term time frame, what we are looking at is a new potential higher high being made, which we're still awaiting upon confirmation, because you guys can see with here, then what we are looking at is Bitcoin testing towards that 100K level in the daily time frame as well. So ultimately, what we want to see right now is the short-term time frame of Bitcoin to create a bullish structure of a new higher high into a higher low to really break out of these lower low, lower high structure that we previously had. Now, that's it for the technical analysis. I'll catch you guys next time.